I am protective over my baby sister. When he laid hands on her, I don't know what I did.
You testified previously that you observed Ms. Heard be verbally abusive to her sister.
Yes, her poor sister was treated like the dog that you kick, basically.
I can't believe Amber beat your ass. I know you could beat her ass. We're not gonna talk about that.
And Johnny swings at her. I don't hesitate, I don't wait. I just, in my head, instantly think of Kate Moss and the stairs, and I swung at him.
Hello everyone, and today we're talking about the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp defamation case. And I'm not going to lie to you, in this case I am very biased, although that is after reviewing all the evidence given thus far. There is still a couple weeks left, and of course, viewer discretion is advised. I'm going to be talking about allegations of abuse, DV, and I'm going to be talking about some serious injuries. And I'm going to start with what started this all, the op-ed Amber Heard wrote herself.
Why are you here? I am here because my ex-husband is suing me for an op-ed I wrote.
I spoke up against sexual violence and faced our culture's wrath. 2 years ago, I became a public figure representing domestic abuse, and I felt the full force of our culture's wrath against women who speak out. I had the rare vantage point of seeing in real time how institutions protect men accused of abuse. In recent years, the hashtag #MeToo movement has taught us about how power like this works, not just in Hollywood, but in all kinds of institutions. Those lines alone were incriminating to Amber Heard, and why they were incriminating is because more than likely she was not a victim of abuse. Perhaps she was, but if she cannot prove that she was abused, then these are defamatory statements against Johnny Depp. And Johnny's team did some research, ran some numbers, and had some analytics that showed after the op-ed was written, Johnny lost a lot of money.
This is the figure at the bottom corner of the chart, the $40,318. What does that represent?
Well, that's your grand total. That's the sum of those two components for total lost earnings of $40.3 million. Mr. Wiggum testified that for the first half of 2018, Mr. Depp chose to take some vacation time. Also, he chose to go touring in the summer with his band, and then he did a film towards the end of 2018. With the publication of the op-ed in December of 2018, that would have impacted the prospects for that film that was done in 2018. So he chose to do just the one film in 2018. And then the impact of the op-ed on that film would have meant that it was not a clean period.
So basically what Amber's team was trying to say was Johnny's career had already flopped before she wrote the op-ed because the whole year was a bit lower than the previous year. But he took vacation time and he toured with his band and only did one movie. The following year, he did not make as much money because of the op-ed. And on top of that, Johnny Depp lost his role as Captain Jack Sparrow in the upcoming Pirates movie. And this was confirmed by two credible witnesses in their first-hand accounts.
That Mr. Depp has lost
the Pirates, the next Pirates movie.
What do you recall Jerry Bruckheimer telling you?
I don't recall the specific conversations, but the nature of it was that the studio was having difficulty employing him.
Tell you why the studio was having difficulty employing Mr. Depp?
No, not specifically, but it was understood.
Did you ask?
I didn't need to. Everyone was aware of what was garnering the attention of the studios and determining whether or not he could be employed.
It was a first-person account coming from the victim. It's extremely impactful.
Impactful in a good or bad way?
With respect to Johnny, it was catastrophic because it was coming from a first-person account. It was not from a journalist. It was not from someone observing. It was from someone saying, this happened to me.
They wanted proof on paper, but most of these are done verbally. There were verbal agreements before they reach paper. And it's just an unspoken rule to not employ somebody with allegations of this nature against them. And the next thing I want to talk about is each of their prior significant relationships. For all these years, I've known Johnny to be kind, attentive, generous, and non-violent person and father. From my experience, which was so wildly different, I was absolutely shocked, confused, and upset when I heard the allegations against him. The idea that he is an incredibly violent person is the furthest thing from the Johnny I knew and loved. And now Kate Moss has never said anything publicly against Johnny, but Amber Heard has stated or insinuated that Johnny pushed Kate Moss down the stairs when they dated. And she has mentioned this multiple times in the UK libel trial and in this defamation trial. Although she did not mention it in her 2016 deposition when she was talking about how Johnny was going to push her sister down the stairs, allegedly. And now Amber was actually arrested for domestic violence against her ex-girlfriend. She had to show up to court and do all the proceedings, but her ex-girlfriend dropped the charges and later said it was blown out of proportion and there was misogynistic undertones and homophobic undertones to the arrest.
There was no domestic violence within that relationship, and the state of Washington, where I was arrested, immediately dropped the charges because they knew the exact same thing that I just told you, that no domestic violence ever occurred. As soon as he found out we were partners, the male cop, not this other woman who's later been brought into the press, this male cop put me in handcuffs, and that's...
She actually made a Facebook post saying, "I'm not sure who leaked to TMZ my pics, but I wanted to say, personally, thank you for setting the record straight. I am so not homophobic or misogynistic. The arrest was made because an occurred. I witnessed it, and the parties were in a domestic relationship."
Isn't it a fact, Ms. Heard, that on September 14th, you were in fact taken to jail? It wasn't dropped immediately.
She spent the night in jail. She was arrested for assault, which is domestic violence, and placed on a 2-year good behavior bond. That's not trumped up charges that were immediately dropped.
And now Lady Victoria Harvey has spoken out saying that she's seen bruises on Amber Heard's ex and that Amber Heard is in this situation. And I'm showing this all because there's been no prior allegations against Johnny before Amber's. And there has been an arrest on Amber's side for abuse. And it's very likely she dropped the charges just to protect Amber, which is what Johnny said he has done for Amber. There is a mystery around how Johnny had cut his finger, and he said he didn't say it was really Amber because he wanted to protect her.
Basically, I had a pretty nasty injury that I had to protect her at the time. And so I said that it was caught in the door, these huge accordion doors at this house.
And victims in these sorts of situations often lie for their abusers because they think they'll change or they think they're really sorry and it won't happen again. And it's honestly really sad that people have to go through this.
She threw a vodka bottle at me, and my hand was resting on the marble of the bar like that. And the first bottle went just past my ear, and the second one was a larger bottle, and she threw it from about this distance, and it smashed into the bar. The tip of the finger was severed, and all the bone in here was completely shattered. I mean, it looked like Vesuvius.
And I think if any one of Johnny's other exes really experienced this, they would probably jump on the wagon with Amber to support her, but no one's doing that. None of his exes are doing that. They're in fact doing the opposite, like I showed earlier. I mean, even Elon Musk had some mysterious bruises during dating Amber. Just a little odd considering everything. And now I'm going to be going over the allegations. First, I'll start with Amber's allegations against Johnny. She alleges on the day he lost the tip of his finger, it was because he was hitting a phone against the wall and that cut the tip of his finger. And this was also during a physical altercation against Amber. She alleges many other instances of physical abuse even before marriage, including being slapped, hit, having things thrown at her, SA with a bottle, and a cavity search for drugs. And she also alleges he tried to push her sister down the stairs, and alleges this is all due to drug and alcohol abuse. And Johnny has been very open about his substance abuse problems. And I think it's very wrong and disgusting to hold that over somebody's head. It does not make them automatically violent, and it really shouldn't be used as a gotcha sort of moment. To my knowledge, this is one of the biggest reasons why he lost the 2020 libel trial, because the judge said because of his drug and alcohol abuse, it was likely that all of her allegations could be true. Not they were indefinitely true, but they could be true based upon that fact. And now let's talk about Amber Heard's evidence against Johnny, which are photos of minor bruises and injuries, photos of Johnny sleeping / being passed out, photos of Johnny's the video of Johnny slamming cabinets after the passing of his mother that was later sold to TMZ, Amica cream, and the Milani's makeup that wasn't made until 2017. And now the Amica cream is actually arnica cream, and the way they are saying it's used is not how it is used. It's not going to magically make bruises disappear, it's supposed to heal them faster. And this makeup kit, he said it was the exact one she used. It wasn't made till 2017, and it was admitted into evidence. This matters because her lawyer said she used that throughout the relationship and always had it in her purse, but the relationship was over before 2017 even started. And actual victims of domestic violence are extremely angry at Amber Heard, saying there is no way she would have been able to cover up the swelling and the bruising the way she says she does. They've showed pictures of themselves, which I will not show because they are graphic, and I don't have their permission to do that. But there is a time she went on a talk show 2 days after she supposedly sustained 2 black eyes. There was no swelling whatsoever. So I can understand why people would be enraged and say that she's just a flat-out liar. And all the pictures of the... Yes, we know that Johnny does drugs. The pictures of him being passed out does not prove that he was violent. It just proves that he was passed out or asleep. That doesn't prove once again. And there was also text messages between Johnny and a friend, something about a Honda Civic, pretty terrible, but that once again doesn't prove that he was actually... That may be proof that he was angry with her for sure. And if she put him through what he said that she did, and I don't blame him for being angry and just venting out in frustration, and he said it was part of a Monty Python skit with dark humor in the first place. And here are what Johnny alleges of Amber. She threw a bottle of vodka and severed the tip of his finger in Australia. A credible witness says he's seen no marks on Amber in Australia, only that she was crying.
She went there. And so I was leaning like this in the chair, looking at her. First bottle went, then got the other bottle, shot. Takes the second bottle, which is the larger one. I'm in this position again. She threw the large bottle, and it made contact and shattered everywhere.
And do you recall observing any injuries on Miss Heard?
No, none whatsoever.
Did you notice anything unusual about her physically at all?
No, I mean, she was obviously crying a lot, she had red eyes, and but no, otherwise no.
Johnny Depp has an audio proving she said that she hit Johnny, and several other incriminating audio tapes.
I said to Travis, I said to you, hey, tell Travis what just happened.
You told me to do it. You told me to. You said, go do that.
I said, no, tell him what just happened.
And I lied.
And that you punched me in the thing. And
you figured it out.
And you said, no, fuck it, I didn't. What the f*** are you talking about? And I
didn't
watched
punch
you lie. And then
I didn't punch you, by the way. I'm sorry that I didn't hit you across the face in a proper slap, but I was hitting you. It was not punching you. Babe, you're not punched.
Don't tell me what it feels like to be punched.
You know, you've been in a lot of fights. You've been around a long time. I know. Yeah.
No, you
didn't get punched. You got hit. I'm sorry I hit you like this, but I did not punch you. I did not deck you. I'm hitting you. I don't know what the motion of my actual hand was. But you're fine. I did not hurt you. I did not punch you. I was hitting you.
How are you?
What am I supposed to do? Do this? I'm not sitting bitching about it, am I? You are. That's the difference between me and you. You're a baby.
Because you started.
You are such a baby. Grow the up,
Because you
Johnny.
started physical fights.
I did start a physical fight.
Yeah, you did. So I had
Because
to get out of there.
yes, you did. So you did the right thing, the big thing. You know what? You are admirable.
I tried to push him out of it, which is what the hit is referred to. And Johnny, whenever he was injured or touched it, always referred to it in these ways of punching or clocked or whatever. And whether you discussed it with him or not, the last thing you do in talking to him afterwards or trying to reconcile with him is to get into what the definition of those words mean to him.
Just say what
So
happened.
I never even addressed it. He would, if he was ever pushed, it was a cold. He called it a cold clock. I mean, it's just very dramatic.
Isn't
about
it?
In Australia, when we had the big fight where I lost the tip of my finger, at least 5 bathrooms and 2 bedrooms I went to
avoid talking to me, to
to
avoid
escape
working it out. That's
to
the
escape
problem.
the fight.
You don't escape the fight. You escape the solution.
No.
You escape the solution.
No.
You escape figuring it out. We cannot work it out if you run away to the bathroom every time.
Listen to me. Listen to me. A boxer can't go 12 rounds without a minute break.
I'm not giving you a minute break. You do it at minute 3 at the beginning of an argument.
No. There are rounds, man, and when it gets too hairy, the ref splits them apart or whatever. But all I'm saying is, you can't have a solution if the argument just keeps mounting and mounting and mounting and mounting.
If he was ever pushed, it was a cold. He called it a cold clock. I mean, it's just very dramatic.
Isn't
about
it?
Man, come on. I had a mineral can of mineral spirits thrown at my nose.
You can please tell people that it was a fair fight and see what the jury and judge think. Tell the world, Johnny. Tell them, Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp, man, I'm a victim too of that time, and
Yes.
it's a fair fight. And see how many people believe or side with you.
He alleges that she punched him twice on her birthday because he was late. His team shows that Amber never fully paid the ACLU, and Johnny and Elon Musk paid a portion on her behalf. And Amber was angry when the first payment was not made out to her.
And when you speak of credited toward Amber Heard, to what are you referring?
And I think I might have done the math wrong. Let me just do the math in my head. It's 700, 800 plus the 5. I think 1.3 is the amount. We received a check from for the $100,000 payment. We received a check from Johnny Depp's representatives, and it was said to be a payment in connection with on behalf of Amber Heard. She confirmed that. The $500,000 payment from Vanguard Charitable, she confirmed was a payment on her behalf, and the $350,000 payment as well.
When you say credited toward her, what does that mean?
Well, she had, when we initially had contact with Amber Heard in 2016, she indicated her desire to pay $3.5 million to.
She never did pay the Children's Hospital as well. They sent a letter asking about if she's going to continue payments. And here's a clip of her saying that she had already donated the full $3.5 million to each of them.
All this, and then there was a divorce settlement. You got $7 million. People were saying this is all about the money, but then you did something that twisted that whole argument. What did you do with that money?
$7 million in total was donated to, I split it between the ACLU and and Children's Hospital of Los Angeles.
And this is undoubtedly true. That same person I showed the clip of also mentioned that she never made any further installments. The letter I showed she made that first payment because she didn't really have a choice. Johnny and Elon made payments on her behalf, and the Children's Hospital, I don't believe, received any money besides that initial one from Johnny. And this is important because it shows her character, that she would lie about donating millions of dollars to these organizations, a children's hospital, and the ACLU helped her write that op-ed, so why wouldn't she donate the money? Now I want to switch gears a little bit to her character once again. At the very beginning of this video, I showed some clips of her contradicting and people contradicting her about her sister, and I want to deep dive into that specific scenario. Heard said Depp was enraged and allegedly pushed her sister for tearing out her hair and smashing up the LA penthouse. Depp, however, says Heard was beating him in a rage as he tried to leave, threw a Red Bull can at him, and punched him in the face before he finally left. Now, the crazy thing about this is, there is a witness who testified on Johnny's behalf saying, yes, she threw a Red Bull and she threw a punch at Johnny before he left the penthouse.
Whitney had come in. They were both on the middle level, the office level. And I saw Miss Heard throw a Red Bull can from her position that struck Mr. Depp in the back. He was angry and agitated. At one point, Miss Heard threw something else, either a purse or some sort of bag or something that she had up there. At that point, out of the corner of my eye, I saw a fist and an arm come across my right shoulder, and I heard and saw a closed fist contact Mr. Depp in the left side of his face.
And whose fist was that?
That was Miss Heard's fist, Amber Heard's fist.
They never once mentioned any danger to Whitney at all. And she talks about how she had to protect her sister and she loves her sister so much, but there's some evidence or other testimonies that say that's not really the case. This is an account from a friend of Whitney's. Whitney told me she tried to stop her sister Amber from hitting and attacking Johnny on the stairs. Whitney said when she tried to intervene to stop Amber from going after Johnny, Amber nearly pushed Whitney down the stairs. She told me she was worried Amber was going to kill Johnny. She told me she had endured that kind of her entire life, first from her father and then from Amber, who she said was extremely violent.
I don't want to talk about it anymore.
I can't believe Amber beat your. I know you could beat her.
We're not going to talk about that.
Whitney, truth or dare? Okay, did you really start the fight with your sister, or did she start it? For real, for real, for real.
We're not going to talk about that.
She really did whoop your butt.
Oh, we're not talking about it.
Yeah, I guess I'm done talking about it.
You testified previously that you observed Ms. Heard be verbally abusive to her sister.
Yes, her poor sister was treated like the dog that you kick, basically.
So her friends were talking about how Amber beat her up in that first clip I showed, and then Kate, Amber's ex-assistant, said basically she was like the dog you kick. And Kate also mentioned that Amber spit in her face when she asked for a raise. Not the best type of person. And now let's continue on with Johnny's allegations. And there is proof that Amber's lawyer was trying to settle out of court by getting several of his penthouses and one of his cars while him still making payments on them. They were only given 3 days, and without notice, Amber Heard got a protection order. In addition, we are requesting on Amber's behalf the following: appropriate pendente life support, exclusive use and possession of the Black Range Rover with Johnny to continue to make all payments, exclusive use and possession of 3 penthouses with Johnny to continue to pay mortgages, utilities, etc.
Do you recall making any kind of counter to any of these items?
All I recall is that without any notice to us, at 8:30 in the morning on the 27th, Samantha Spector and her client went into court and obtained a no-notice ex parte restraining order.
And now this is what you call extortion. Basically, if her demands were not met, she was going to go public with this. And guess what she did? She went public with this. And the letter started with the last allegation of the May sort of attack. Well, there's body cam footage showing the house was not in disarray, and a police officer testified that she's seen no marks on Amber or anything that suggested domestic violence.
And at that time, did you notice any injuries on Ms. Hurd?
I did not.
Okay. Were you looking to see if she had any injuries at that time?
Yes, I was.
We'll just come in and just check. We just need to make sure everybody in here is okay, and then we. I don't know if she called twice or whoever called, but we just got another notification. So we just need to come in and make sure that everybody's okay. Is they're all good? Nobody else is in here?
No. The other officers came by and checked the apartment and the other apartment as well.
Yeah.
It must have been like a double call.
Okay. Who's Amber? Okay. Johnny is definitely not here. He's not here.
And supposedly, a day after, she came out of the courthouse with a bruise on her face. The next day, she's seen without a bruise on her face? I mean, if this is true, then it is likely a fake bruise that she did with makeup, like many people speculated. And I made this video to disprove a lot of Amber Heard's lies, inconsistencies, and perhaps over-exaggerations, with evidence and a little bit of my own speculation. And even after all this, there is still so much that I have not touched on about Amber. For example, she may be going to court for perjury in Australia because she smuggled her dogs in and under oath lied that she didn't know. So basically what I'm saying is we're only scratching the surface, so if this video gets a lot of traction and likes, I'm probably going to do an update, second video, probably more focusing on the psychology of Amber Heard. But let me know what you think down in the comments below, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye!